Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk about The Go-Giver by Burg and John David Mann. So if you haven't seen my other two videos, be sure to go back and watch those because I basically explained how I want to do like reading videos. And yeah, I basically have this goal of doing this like summer reading list, and I want to just read more books in general. So this was the first of that installment. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you what this is about and then give it my rating. But as you can see, I did like it. I decided to use I have it over here. I decided to use these little whatever. They're not really sticky notes, but you know what I mean. Because I tend to highlight a lot, but I didn't want to like mark up the book. Yeah, just in case I like pass it on to someone else. So I just have these little sticky notes. Okay, so let me tell you what it's about. First of all, I want to say the genre of this book is business fiction, and apparently it's a parable, so it's not really a novel, which means, well, to me, it means like don't expect like an in-depth stories about all of the characters excuse me, because it's really meant to kind of like teach you about these principles that are meant to help you like in your business and in your life. So it's not quite the same as a novel. Like I was thinking that when I was reading it, I was like, oh, they didn't really like, I wish I knew more about the main character or want to see more about their life. And you definitely see like some of their life, but you really just see like aspects of their life as it pertains to business and like entrepreneur kind of life. So that's one thing to just keep in mind. It is a short book, relatively short. It's only 125 pages. It also has a little discussion guide. It has a discussion guide and it has a Q&A with the authors, which I really appreciate because that kind of helped me to understand the book a little bit more. I didn't read the entire Q&A, um, but yeah. And then they also have like, I don't know if they have like a series, but they have like other books. There's definitely another book after this one. This story is about a man named Joe. He's the main character, and he's struggling in his job. He works for, some company, and he's basically trying to like meet a certain quota, and he's trying to get ahead in his business, but he's not like getting there, so he's struggling. So he ends up meeting with this really successful business person, and his goal is to really like get this guy to like help him so that he can get higher up in his business, like help him with this deal. He meets with this guy, and basically the deal is that this successful businessman will teach him all of these steps for him to have success. But he has to apply like each concept that same day that he learns it, or else the deal is off. So you see him go through this and you see him like grow as a person, as a character, and it's just really interesting. I think I obviously relate to it as a business person, and so I went in like reading it kind of wanting to find something to help me with my own business. I actually originally thought this was a non-fiction book, so when I found out, that kind of like changed things, but it's still just a really good story, and you get to see Joe grow through this whole experience, and it's just interesting to see how he like applies these different principles to his business, but then also how it helps him in life. It has good like principles in them. I pretty much like agreed with everything, and yeah, so I feel like the principles, they still kind of align with like biblical concepts, not concepts. The principles still align with like my beliefs as a Christian. I didn't really find anything that stood out to me as being like, oh, this is wrong, you know? Um, but if you do have like, questions about that, I encourage you to read the Q&A if you decide to read this book because that helps. But yeah, anyway, it was really good, and every time I thought I knew where the story was going, I didn't. So I wouldn't say they're necessarily like plot twists, but there was like surprises, and I was actually surprised by the ending. I didn't expect it to be like that. And so it's really cool. Um, Again, if you're like looking for a book that has like where you really want to like see all of this stuff about the character and you want to get like, kind of involved in their life or be able to like put yourself in their shoes more. It's not quite like that, but I definitely related to the main character and I liked the stuff that they were saying. And I liked that it was a short book because I am a slow reader and I've like just started this goal this year. So it was nice to start off with a simple book, you know? Other things. I really like the feel of the book. Someone gave this, or not someone, my sister gave this to me actually. So it's kind of like already broken into, but I used to really only like hardcover books, and now I am a paperback girl because I just love how like bendy it is, and yeah, it feels just so nice. So yeah, I really like it. Every time I tried to find something to like knock it down a point, um, as I kept reading, I was kind of like, no, I think this is still good. Keep in mind, I haven't really read any other business fiction books, but I would rate this a 5 stars. I'm giving it a 5 stars. I'm not going to be super like critical either just because I don't have something else to compare it to. I can't knock it down because I loved it. It was a timely read for me. I feel like I learned something, and I kind of read books for like I read books based on what I feel I need, or like if I want to learn about something, I guess. So yeah, it was a good fit for me. Um, so yeah, I would rate it a 5 stars. I don't know how much I would recommend it to somebody that doesn't own a business or isn't an entrepreneur, even though like all of these principles like can help you in life as well, not just for a business. I just feel like this is like a good book for entrepreneurs to read. So yeah, loved it. It was great. And the next book that I'm going to be reading is Stewards of Eden. So this will be the next one. I contemplated reading this one next, but I think I want to do Stewards of Eden just because it's smaller. It is a similar page length actually to the book that I just read. It's 112 pages. So yeah, I just kind of want to start off slower. Also, this is a nonfiction book. This is teaching you about like what scripture says about the environment and why it matters. So I feel like it might be a bit of a slower read because it's more informational. Um, but yeah, anyway, I might listen to this on audio. So we'll see how that goes. But that is my rating. 5 star read if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, all of that stuff, work at a corporation or something. um, I would recommend. And I'll see you guys in my next video.